Can you hear me, Ahmed? There you are.
Yes, doctor. How are you doing? Good, good.
Ready?
How's everything?
Good. I think you have a lot of guests joining us today.
Yeah, my family.
My my email was blowing up saying that there's like a guest in the room, and I'm like, then there's two, then there's three, then there's four.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ahmed got a large family. Hey, Dr. Pavoni, how are you?
How are you? Hi, gentlemen.
Hi, Dr. Babuni. How are you
Hi,
doing?
Ahmed. How are you? Big day
Good,
today.
good. Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Hopefully,
that's so kind.
yeah, gonna
Hey,
go well.
Ahmed, let me just go over a couple of things real quick. I like to log on a little bit early. And what I really need to do is I'll make you a co-host and then give you the opportunity to share your screens real quick so you can load your slides. And then when everybody is here, we'll have Dr. Bavone will give a little bit of an introduction on why we're all here, what we're doing, thanking everybody. And then you'll begin to do your discussion with your slides and let everybody know what you did. And normally that takes 20, 25 minutes. And then we will then have a question and answer period. And the only ones that are able to really ask questions are your committee and your chair, but everybody else can sit and listen. But what will happen afterwards is I will put you in a waiting room so your committee can deliberate. So at that time, usually family members can either log off or I can put them in a waiting room. Also, it might take a few minutes, that's fine. But then the committee will have the privacy then to discuss how you did, you and then everybody else back in the room, and then we'll present how you did and then move on. Does that sound clear?
Clear. Thank you, doctor.
Wonderful. So let me make you a co-host first. So why don't you go in there now and look and see if you can share your screen and go ahead and put your slides up.
Okay.
You didn't charge admission for this, did you?
We could have made some money.
Didn't have anybody at mind. It's my
Yeah, I was going to say no one cared about mine either.
Yeah, it was just me and my committee, and my chair. But they were tough enough. They killed me. They're good people. Actually, Dr. Baresh was on my committee. He said he loved the color of my slides.
He was on your committee?
Dr. Baresh was on my committee also.
Oh, so this was recent then, right? No?
Oh, it's been a few years.
Okay.
So, but you know, he's pretty tough. He's tough.
He is tough, and he's very well published.
Yes, he is. And he really
واحنا صوتنا انت قفلت المايك؟
recognizes a lot of things.
I know.
Now, Ahmed, we need to make sure everybody that is a guest of yours is muted also. They'll have to be muted the entire time because we don't want to be hearing what I'm hearing now is like some background chatter. Like if somebody's not muted, you might hear background noise, and we just don't want that. So if anybody is here supporting Ahmed, please mute your
Yeah,
phone.
I'm gonna speak in Arabic. السلام عليكم. مرحبا بكم كلكم. لو سمحتوا بس اقفلوا الصوت عشان اللي مسموح ليهم يتكلموا هم الدكاترة بس معايا. أي حد فتح الصوت يقفله. Okay, thank you, doctor.
I was actually hosting a Zoom yesterday, or actually it was a staff meeting with Dr. Lewis, and somebody had their phone not muted, and you could just start to hear some buzz and things like that. So we just want to make sure we don't have anything hindering you to be able to focus on your work. Any other questions from me?
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
Dr. Bavoni, you have any questions?
No, I was just
or
going to
anything
kind
like
of
that?
highlight, you know, a little bit of, I think, what prompted him to start this and you know, introduce him and go from there.
wait until Dr. Kostelenik and Dr. Birch are here. Looks like what we've got 6 more minutes, so that's like a lot of time. I'm going to step away for just a moment,
Okay. Okay.
and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
No worries.
Ahmed, pronounce your last name.
Abdelghafar.
Yeah, we're going to go with Ahmed.
Yeah,
Say it
Ahmed.
again.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier.
A little bit.
Yeah. How are you doing, doctor?
I'm doing good. I'm so proud of you. I hope you're excited. It's a
Thank you.
big day.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? And I hope, honest to God, I hope you're able to take this and, navigate it to the powers at be, right? And maybe move things along a little bit quicker. I was thinking about that. And then also, I know that myself and Dr. Baresh can kind of help with publishing. So I want you to think about that as well, because this should definitely be published, especially given the laws that have just recently changed. So, yeah.
Yeah. He spoke with me about this issue because, New York changed some laws. So
Yeah.
he told me to insert it in my dissertation.
Yes.
So I did it and I sent it to him, and he told me you are ready to go.
Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to mute for 1 second and step away.
No worries.
مبروك مقدما يا دكتور، وما تنساش بقى احنا عايزين هتاكل علينا العزومة عشان دي اونلاين.
إن شاء
ففي
الله يا
في
باشمهندس.
في جاتو حاجة ساعة على الأقل يعني.
هو هي دي المناقشة، في حاجة بعد كده اسمها السيمينار، بتبقى فيها حضور، واللي هو ما بيحطوا بقى بيدونا الشهادة فيها. دي بتبقى مختلفة، اللي هو الحضور في الحرم الجامعي نفسه. دي المناقشة الأخيرة اللي هم بيقرروا على أساسها إن الرسالة مقبولة أو فيها تعديلات أو حاجة زي كده. فدعواتك إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله
حلوة إن
بالتوفيق.
شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. أنا حاطة نفسي على ميوت عشان أنا كمان في الشغل في نفس الوقت.
تمام.
فربنا يصلح الحال إن شاء الله.
تسلم يا
ربنا
باشمهندس.
يصلح الحال.
ألف شكر ليك.
العفو.
يلا بالتوفيق يا احمد. انا عماد، ربنا يكرمك ان شاء الله.
ازيك يا باشمهندس عماد؟ الله يسلمك يا رب. ألف شكر يا حبيبي.
ربنا يوفقك. ربنا يوفقك.
ربنا يديك الصحة والعافية.
ان شاء الله بالتوفيق يا باشمهندس.
ألف شكر، ربنا يبارك فيك. حبيبي يا غريبان.
بالتوفيق يا حبيبي، ربنا يوفقك يا باشمهندس. ربنا معاك يا حبيبي، ده عيالك كتير.
ربنا يبارك فيك يا
ان شاء
ماما.
الله ان شاء الله امتياز، ان شاء الله امتياز، ان شاء الله امتياز
ربنا يبارك فيك يا حبيبي.
على مرتبة الشرف.
بالتوفيق يا دكتور ان شاء الله. ابو زين معاك يا حبيبي، ربنا يوفقك.
تسلم.
عم احمد اللي انت بنتسمى على اسمه، قول له يا رب ينجحك، قول له يا رب.
Hello. Thank
Hello,
you for the reminder. I do appreciate it. I have been nursing a sore shoulder, waiting for the aspirin to take effect.
God bless, God bless.
Many years ago, my stepdaughters were fighting in the back of the car. They were teenagers, and I took my right arm and separated them. I said, "You over there, you over there, stop fighting." And the right arm has never been the
I
same.
remember those days, but I remember when my parents would hit the brakes. So because there were no seatbelts then, we would just fly into the front seat. So I remember that. Oh, that's
I've never been the same. It's never ever. And every now and then I wake up and I have this tremendous pain in my right shoulder, and I go, "Oh no! Here, take 4 aspirin and wait."
Call
So I was waiting for the pain to subside.
Okay. Well, welcome.
But thank you for doing this. I do appreciate it. And let's go forward.
All right, Dr. Pavone. This is Dr.
Yes.
Zimmerman back. How are you?
We're good.
Good.
Dr. Brash is here.
I see Dr. Brash is on, and I've just talked to Dr. Kostelnik. She is logging on right now.
Okay.
I could not see her name because I think she's logging on with a phone. So as soon as we have contact with her verbally, we know she's here, then you can begin. So we'll wait just a moment for that. Dr. Kostelnik, if you're here, you can let us know you're here. Almost 20 people here. This is my largest Zoom per student.
I love it.
So Dr. Kostelnik, are you there?
Yes. Hello. I'm in. I connected. Hello.
Which one are you, Dr. Kostelnik? Which one are you?
I think she's the 202.
Okay, you're
On
on
the
the
phone.
phone.
202.
202.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure I know. Okay, so we need to make sure everybody is muted. Can you let them know that
لو
again?
سمحتوا احنا هنبدأ المناقشة يا جماعة. الكل الصوت من عنده. الكل يعمل ميوت علشان نبدأ المناقشة دلوقتي.
And everybody also Ahmed should turn their video off. So we're not seeing them.
الصوت يا جماعة بس.
Okay?
كله يعمل ميوت بس لمدة نص ساعة.
Of this, so we don't see anybody's.
كل الفيديو بتاعه يا جماعة.
Yeah.
الفيديو برضه يتقفل مع الصوت.
Because it's being recorded. Correct.
And it will, because it will be recorded, so we don't want to record anything. And this way, what will happen is normally you will be the only one that we see talking. Everybody, your chair, your committee, myself, we'll all turn our cameras off, and we'll only focus on you, and that we'll pretty much do that for the entirety. No need to see me or Dr. Pavone. We'll all be focusing on you. So what I'll do here is I'm going to hit the record button in just one moment, and then I will hand the mic over to Dr. Pavone, and she will introduce us and get this started, okay?
Okay.
So one moment.
Recording in progress.
All right, so we are recording. I'll turn my camera off, and Dr. Pavone, please have some opening comments.
Okay. So welcome, everyone. Obviously, committee and family and friends. This is the dissertation defense for Ahmed Abdelghafar, and he has come up with an incredible, I think, study that we've worked on for a while now. He spoke about the New York City School of Construction Authority, the NYC SCA. It's a public agency that builds and improves schools and facilities in New York City. They have a $10 billion budget and 2,000 people. And they built and renovated over 1,400 schools. They were criticized, however, for the high cost and slow pace of construction. and Ahmed realized, being very intimate with the project, that while they are improving learning environments and enhancing academic performance and promoting safety and security, the projects are being delayed, and the common problem was in the construction industry, and it has really impacted their ability and his organization's ability to move forward in a smooth and rapid manner. So that is kind of what the study is. That's what prompted this study. He's done an incredible job, and I'd like to turn it over to Ahmed to tell us more about it.
Thank you, Doctor. Okay. First of all, thank you for giving me this great opportunity. My research name is Identifying Challenges, Best Practices, and Potential Solutions to NYCSCA, New York City School Construction Authority, Projects Delay. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to the professors who helped with research. Dr. Teresa Baboni is actually a great professor who helps me without causing any confusion. She made this research go smoothly and faster than I thought. A big thank you to her. Dr. Donald Brash has extensive experience and is excellent at finding what's missing. Actually, he wrote a lot to help me in this research, so I'm grateful to him. Dr. Karina Kastelnik, she knows a lot about working with big data. I had trouble finding government information for my research in the beginning. She made it herself, and she sent me so many links, which was terrific. Thank you to her. Dr. Glenn Zimmerman is actually a perfect choice at Touro University to help students with their research projects. His advice and phone calls were very helpful. Thank you so much, Doctor. So these are the points for my introduction. Actually, I will go through these points. The first 3 chapters, we did it before, but I'm gonna summarize whatever I changed. So when start working on building projects for New York City, I often asked about the main reason for delayed construction projects and what are the best practice to mitigate this delay. I choose to study NYCSCA because when their school projects are late, it's bad for students, families, and neighbors. This puts a lot of pressure on the government and local councils. This doesn't usually happen in other projects, where delays only affect some people, not most, like NYSCA. However, this study doesn't cover higher level problems. The higher level problems I didn't cover, like how the city and state money is split to the SCA. Also, some legal and bureaucratic issues that slow down projects. It only, this dissertation only looks at the problems faced by NYCSCA, the contractors, and their main stakeholders. Review of literature. These are my points. At the beginning of my research proposal last October, I wanted to use all I found from the literature about managing projects, time, and stakeholders involved. it was like this list. Now it became like this. So as I got deeper into the specific topic of delays in NYCA projects, I focused only on the information that helped my research and left out what wasn't useful. I used reports and documents from the SCA website, government reports, letters between the New York Mayor's office and the SCA, and newspapers. Some documents discussed problems between SCA and its contractors that went to courts. Other documents like Dr. Brish on applying agile methodology, Dr. Kastelinik research on applying technology and internal auditing, and other researches about public projects delay in the USA. This helped me understand the issue and how to fix it. This is another help from Dr. Brish and Dr. Kastelinik. There were also official papers about how the contractors and SCA should work together, examples of delay in SCA, and government research paper given to Department of Design and Construction. This is another department. This is like twin to the SCA, and they are in the same building, So this paper called Slow Down. This was a long report that belongs to the DDC delay issue. Research methodology. First of all, I want to mention something very important. I designed and conducted this research as Dr. Pavoni did her PhD, even though our topics were totally different. But I'm thankful she let me do this because it saved me much time and effort to organize my research point by point. This research is qualitative and describes the delay in the SCA based on published documents. I used trustworthy sources, and each one has a link to the complete content, not just the title. I make sure to this to make the research more reliable and credible for the qualitative research. Therefore, it's difficult to find an important published paper about the SCA that serves the research topic that has not been used. I tried my best, and this is like maybe 300 links that all I got from Google and Toro and all the libraries that I could reach. I used 31 cases from the past 30 years, from 1993 to 2023, to answer the research question. These include court documents and reports from the government and newspaper about why SCA projects were late. These cases are about real problems and suggest solutions, which helped me analyze the data. So this is the percentages that I used, or I found actually, from the references. Other file to assess how big and widespread the problem is, I used government file. Actually, Dr. Kastelinik gave me the link to this file, which compares the actual progress of the SCA projects with their planned schedule. I analyzed this file for over 11,000 SCA projects from the beginning of the SCA at 1980 until now, ranging from small projects like supplies to capital projects and line projects worth over $100 million. On average, project were 5,000 days late each year, with the worst delay in 2020 because of COVID-19, 3 years late, because of the expenses associated of crowds and mess for construction. The 31 archival cases in my research, as Dr. Pavoni did in their research, I looked for patterns using a method by Professor Clark Mustakas. It's about finding repeated themes in qualitative data. The steps include coding for repeated meanings and checking they are right using dictionaries or computer tools. Actually, if you want me to show the Excel files that I prepared, took a long time, and I used even some program. This paper is the final product from my Excel file. This is number 12 from my Excel file. Maybe after the presentation, if we have any question about this, I can show you the Excel file. I used analyzing reasons for delays in the SCA papers and reports comparing to academic research about construction project delay in the USA. So I have a research, this government research. The author for this research examined the USA government projects, why they were delayed, and he put 50 reasons. So I compared my what I got from my research from the 31 archival cases and what he exactly found. So I found 15 reasons only from the 50. Some documents that I found stated the reasons for the delay, making it easier for me. So I found 15 main reasons, like as shown in this diagram, for delays in the 31 cases over the past 30 years, especially the last 4 years, to get current results. Number one, inefficient management. This diagram shows which year exactly we have the problem in, according to the archival cases that I found. A common issue with the SCA is that it doesn't have the same management standard everywhere. Each of New York City 5 boroughs has its own chief project officer and his own rules. Below them are senior project officers, and below them project officers who manage many projects. There are also no real career ladder. For the SCA to promote the chief or the senior or the project officer, as some of them remain in their job for decades. There is no training program also for them from the SCA, which means that they are not clear standards for everyone to follow. As we see, this is a safety program and procedures manual for the SCA. The SCA website contains this document explaining how to manage projects, but still they are hundreds of pages, making it very difficult to use them in practice. Number two, poor planning. The SCA hires external firms to design and schedule projects through public bids for lower price, not according to design contests like in architecture competitions. The cheapest bid is not always the best, leading to design mistakes and the need for change orders from day number one. From day one, you have change orders. This makes delay inevitable because approving change orders is a complicated process and takes a long time. Change orders are common in school construction authority projects. Contractors often bid low prices expecting to make more money from change orders. Scope creep is not just for the design mistakes. It also happens when the New York Department of Education, which is the boss and is overseen, the SCA adds new requirements or new scope. Whenever the school principal wants something, it becomes a priority and the project and placed with the project scope. The unforeseen problems, many problems weren't considered initially, like informing the neighbors or of what would happen at the schools in the school location and what to expect it. This recently they became to do this, but before 2022, nobody was sending these kind of letters. This leads to complaints to the Department of Education from the neighbor and the SCA and sometimes the courts about the noise and the dust and other issues. Problems also arise on site, like not testing the soil properly or ignoring mold inside the building. The weather can also stop work, like rain, snow, or extreme heat in summer. Bureaucratic obstacles. Contractors must follow bureaucratic steps to obtain the necessary permits. The biggest problem with these permits is addressing other government interests, not the SCA. They are unrelated to the SCA. Unfortunately, the SCA always declares that it is not responsible for assisting the contractor with these permits. For example, getting a permit for school garden drainage can take up to 6 months with the park department, in addition to the Department of Environmental Protection, which takes more than a year to approve dewatering operation. Political instability. If there is a disagreement between the mayor of New York and the state governor over the money for budgeting government departments or changing the mayor or the upper political management, it affects the SCA budget and how smoothly contractors get paid. This has happened before, but it's going better now, although it could happen again because there is no rules control this issue. We have also budget constraints. The SCA manages its own budget and prefers to avoid being checked by the controller office. I have 2 financial reports were analyzed and attached to this research from the controller office. The SCA response to the controller office was as if they were saying, we know what we should do. Rotation from so the 20 billion budget is split among projects without clear rules. Usually, Manhattan It's the list saying I have a reference from newspaper or government report. Legal issues. The legal problems between the SCA and its contractor actually do not end, and some cases have been in the courts for more than 7 years. According to the payroll published in the references for year 2022, the SCA appoints a very strong legal consultant, so with very high salaries. Actually, consultants, not only one. They are a lot with very high salaries. I included the payroll in the references, and they call them the legal counselors. They usually win cases against contractors regarding change orders. I didn't say this information like this in my dissertation, but in the court cases, it shows like this. Unengaged stakeholders. There is no specific and clear mechanism to address stakeholders, whether from the SCA internal management or external parties related to the projects themselves. The SCA doesn't care much about showing project progress, and it doesn't issue reports explaining the reasons for a project delay. Stakeholders often communicate legally in the courts. We have also unqualified contractors. Like other New York government departments, the SCA has commitment to small business, startups, and those under minority and woman-owned business enterprise, MWBE. However, the SCA is often forced to hire contractors under the mentor program category who must be qualified for government project standards and their commitment to quality and safety. Therefore, these contractors need help, and the SCA has to oversee many of them. Legacy issues. The SCA relationship with the Department of Education must remain the same because the School Construction Authority is not separate. It is a department that is working for the DOE. So the SCA works on the DOE construction projects and follow their plans, which decide which project that must be expedited and other projects that may be postponed. Unrealistic bidding. The SCA chooses contractors based on the lowest bid without considering their past work and progress with other government departments or their evaluation there. So if somebody was working with another department, they will not ask these departments. They don't have this rules or this methodology. They just make informal calls to check references given by contractors themselves. This can lead to hiring contractors who don't have enough experience or funds and cause delays as they try to make more profit as much as they could. The labor issues. By law, the SCA forces the contractors to rely on union labor, which is trained workers that receive prevailing wages that local workers do not get. For example, a construction carpenter licensed to work on SCA projects is paid $137 per hour with benefits, and a labor receives $132 per hour according to the prevailing wage schedule for New York City. Contractor must stay on these wages as salary progress is reviewed monthly with every contractor's payment. Unfortunately, the contractors cannot control the efficiency of the labor performance. And the more hours they consume, the more their financial resource increase. This is for the laborers. Lack of transparency. The SCA's reports always and forever focus on its achievements. Any reports from the SCA, it focus only for achievements. And no report I found in my research mentioned shortcoming from the SCA, except in the case of COVID-19. Therefore, identifying and addressing errors is highly confidential and unavailable to the general public. The corruption conflicts, the distribution of funds among New York City boroughs is unclear, and some press reports indicate bias toward districts over others. Also, assigning projects or purchases to specific brand or specific suppliers is common in the SCA specifications, even if there is a long lead time to get this material. Self-filled investigation. These are some problems I encountered personally in the SCA projects with references to them. So what I put in my dissertation has reference. Anything I didn't get reference to, I didn't put in my dissertation. These are the many burdens and responsibilities on the supervisory staff, like what the project officer usually takes from 2 to 7 projects. He has to cover them all. So sometimes he cannot go deep in the scope of work and the drawings. He depends on the architect to clarify everything. The lack of training program for them, the mechanism for processing change orders that are carried out to completely separate department for the executive management at the job site. So the change order department is totally different than the people that the contractor is dealing with at the job site. And finally, the legal and financial problems and labor and approval of submittals, but the matter improved slightly after the issuance of the new app, Kahua program, which was this Mayo Clinic was using this app, and the SCA adopted this app to manage their work recently, which speeds up the review process from the architect and the project officer. We have some impact of the delays, like such as increase the costs, inconvenient for stakeholders, crowding for students, legal and quality issues, and communication and transparency challenges. As best practices, the study suggests best practices for the SCA, the contractors, and the government. The SCA responsibilities can include adopting agile methodologies for their flexibility and ability to effectively enhance communication between stakeholders as stated in Dr. Bourrich's research. Also, adopting flexible technology to connect stakeholders effectively as stated in Dr. Castellini's research. This technology also achieves internal monitoring and external transparency, establish a new administrative system also that avoids bureaucratic frameworks and restrictions that slow down the projects. This is also from the best practice. Finally, search for live examples of similar international government construction institutions that attest to their speed and efficiency, such as the education department in Singapore, This research paper defines this 1.5 years for a new school. The primary rule for contractors is to enhance communication between the various parties to the projects, activate risk plans to avoid delays, and comply with the terms and conditions of work in the SCA and construction standard in New York City. Also, other government strategies, including risk management and studying alternatives for New York City Construction Department. This was discussed before 2 times in New York Council, like hiring Disney, and this is another department they can use instead of the SCA in some major projects, such as the possibility of assisting other government institutions. Discussion and summary of finding. I'm saying delaying school projects in New York City is an old problem. School Construction Authority was creating to solve this and other issues, but SCA projects still need to be faster than those in different places. You know this article from the New York Times from 1923, so 100 years ago, and they were talking about the same delays. There is always a lack of clarity regarding the reasons for the delay, which the SCA doesn't announce, except when problems get really bad and appear in the news or government reports. This study aimed to enhance transparency, especially for key stakeholders who can provide a helping hand. If you can look at this report, this article, these 2 lines from the same report, they said SCA refused to provide its data to the public, and the report that the task force issues was less than 2 pages long. Limitation of the study. I faced some challenges in obtaining literature and references for the past short period, so I expanded the research scope to include the past 30 years. Therefore, some of the reasons for the delays were more related to a certain time period than others. I also didn't focus on the COVID-19 period much, as no fundamental reasons can be announced other than the complete closure of construction projects for some time. Also, not all references and literature were comprehensively summarized. I didn't summarize everything in the reports that I found. Still, the analyzed cases focused on the causes of delay, its impact, best practices, and solution. Recommendations for future studies. And references that were accessed. Also, there was no depth in the NYC updated laws and regulations, because I don't have the experience to manage this. I tried, but I failed about to go deep in the laws and regulations that help this issue, but I couldn't. The SCA organization, also I didn't go through the SCA organizational chart, internal operation issues that could affect the research results, except for what was mentioned. I also communicated with the SCA administration on an ongoing basis to understand the reasons for the delay. Some of the job sites management, such as seniors and project officers, responded and they helped me. Still, I couldn't get in touch with upper management such as the CEO and the chief of staff or the vice president of construction management. So I believe some extensive government research may be able to reach places that I couldn't come to in this research, like US National Science Foundation. Finally, the references that I used 122 references related to the research topic, ranging from reliable press, published academic and research papers, legal issues, government statistics about the SCA, internal and external reports about the SCA, and references about what happened before in the SCA projects through the SCA website itself or other website. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. Wonderful presentation. I'm going to wait for Dr. Zimmerman to get back on and lead us into the next steps. I appreciate that.
I'm here.
Okay.
So, Dr. Pavoni, you can start directing questions.
Okay. So the next steps would be, do any of the committee members have any questions or need any solidification? Like, you know, is there any concerns or anything that is just out there that you want him to redirect or direct or answer for you?
Ahmed did everything I wanted him to do.
I know, and I right?
I absolutely everything. So I was somewhat pedantic on occasion. And so I appreciate the presentation, and thank you very much. And I have nothing that I want that's additional.
Beautiful. Dr. Baresh, I want to add to that. I think the points that you brought up to Ahmed were critical and essential. And I think that, you know, there's opportunity right now, Ahmed, to really make a difference based on the law that was just right. So I think we all need to, like, you know, strike it while it's hot. And Dr. Baresh is an amazing scholar and a published, amazing man. And I think him and I can both help you get that published, because I think
I think you should. I think that that's a very good thing to do, is convert this into an article. And you can
this is my question to you after this meeting. Because I saw that you summarized some of big researches to one paper. So how can I do this? I'm gonna ask you.
Well, I can tell you, I can answer the question shortly. If you have a summary of your conclusions or a summary of your work, you don't have to put in. You can take the introduction, a little bit of the literature review, and a summary of the conclusions, and you just cut and paste. You can get an article. That's how you do it.
Short. Yeah, we'll help you, Ahmed. We'll
help you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's worthy. So. Are there any other questions from the committee members? All right, Dr. Zimmerman, I'm going to send it back over to you then.
Dr. Kastelic, you're still there?
Yes, no question.
Okay.
Thank you.
No question. And what is your number again, Dr. Kastelic, so I know not to move you into the wrong room?
It's the 202 number.
321. Yes, 202 321 3023.
3023. Okay, so now, Ahmed, what we will do is I will pause the taping just for now.
Recording
and what I
stopped.
will do is I will take away your, I'll find you here, and then I will take away your co-hosting. first. And then now what I will do is I will put everyone in a waiting room, and you can all wait while your committee deliberates. So let me start doing that now.
Sure, sure, Doctor.
All right, Dr. Pavoni, I think everybody is here. You can start talking to Ahmed.
Okay, well, welcome back, Ahmed. We'd like to, I think, congratulate you. You did an amazing job. There were no, this is a pass without, your defense has been passed without any recommendations, any changes, any suggestions. So I'd like to congratulate you. I'd like to be the first to say, Mabruk, Ahmed Abdelghafar. You are almost officially a doctor. I think once you submit and we'll go through those few changes, you will wear that amazing hat. You did an amazing job. We were privileged to be on your committee. It was a great study. You stepped to the plate with every one of our suggestions, and we're very proud of the work that you did. So I know it wasn't without great effort, and I just want to say congratulations. You had a great team cheering for you, and we're very, very proud of the work you did. Did we lose him?
Ahmed, do you want to say anything? I hope he's there. I don't.
I hope so.
You might have to say that again.
Uh-oh.
Ahmed, are you there?
He probably thinks it's a little, he'll be back soon, I suspect. Probably thought it would take more time.
There he is.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I was talking, but I didn't.
You're on mute.
Did you hear everything?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Babuni. Thank you so much, Zimmerman, Rich, Dr. Castellini. I cannot say anything. You helped me a lot in this journey. God bless you all, and thank you again. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ahmed. You should be very proud. You did a great job.
Thank you, Dr. Pavoni. Thank you.
Yeah. So Ahmed, what I've talked to Dr. Pavoni about, it's just that we are like right in the middle of the semester, so there's plenty of time. I always ask the students go back and cleanse their document one more time. So I've talked to Dr. Pavoni about that, and maybe she can talk to you about some of my suggestions afterwards, but very minor. You can work on just making sure that the paper is cleansed one more time. All the comments and things like that are removed, and then that gets maybe next week sent back to me. I'll look at it, and once I give it the thumbs up, and I will officially start getting autographs for your TUW cover letter for your doctorate research paper, and it'll have Dr. Montianu's autograph, Dr. Sheila Lewis's autograph, and it'll have your committee and chair on there, and then that will all be put together, and you'll get a congratulatory email from Dr. Lewis saying that you have graduated. And at that time, then you will officially be graduated. Okay?
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Zimmerman. Thank you so much.
Well, it is a joy to be on this journey with students. I just, this is probably one of the most meaningful things that I do as the interim director is to really be able to help a student. And if I can remove any type of obstacle for any student to help them out, then that's what I'm here to do. And I would just say that you are a joy to work with. Your work reflects what you did and the hard work and dedication that you put into this to achieve what you did. It's very evident when you read your paper, and it was evident looking and listening to you today. You really have done outstanding work. And I will also say you had exceptional support from Dr. Duresh, Dr. Castellanic, and Dr. Barbone. They are incredible, and I thank them for all they do for our TW students. So I will wrap things up by saying, everyone have a wonderful day. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. I'll be looking forward to your work email to me next week. Everybody have a great afternoon. Thank you all for being here.
You.
Thank you all.
Dr. Zimmerman.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Bravo. Congratulations.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Ciao, ciao.